More fire, more fire. More fire. Fire for lights here. More fire. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, Africa. More fire, more fire, more fire. You know? Only fire can make things stay more solid, you know? After we don't process them done. You don't burn them properly, you don't melt them. You know? You set them up, you get to where you want the products to come out. You make them very solid. Fire can't allow you to do that. Big up to now, the early morning session. About, well, we're not too late, 5-10 minutes late. Tasmo be need for make sure say the brain steady, you know? What we can discuss this morning, when I belt up, at least it will take we 1 hour long. Something for you for learn. Something for you for learn. You know? Something where it will be interesting for you for listen to, for capture, for understand, for run with, for understand also history. And why make them conflicts also to take place, you know, and within the globe. And within the globe. For you to understand the in-totals, maybe that's going to make you prepare or not prepare for Armageddon. You know? Or Armageddon. Whatever way you want to put on is soon bound to come. So if you fear, learn for, starts for the pray. If you fear, starts for the pray. You know, start for the believe in Allah. Start for the believe in Allah. But they can discuss more about China and the US. Also about something where you know when they get in school. The Marshall's Island. The Marshall's Island. Now the Pacific Ocean, this Marshall's Island reside. I will give you history on this island. What's in take place in within this island? Why make the conflicts and still arise? The pains of the people there, the suffering and the struggles of the people there. Also, last but not the least, the swear of people and the swear. The one that we don't die. But couldn't deal swear this wall. But couldn't deal swear this wall, yo. But could we don't die, the heart's not cool. You know? But could we don't go, the heart's not cool. Now know that. Good morning to Africa once more inside Guinea, Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Abidjan. You know, outside, if you're inside Dubai, Australia, Canada, the US, outside. Colombia, Mexico, Guatemala, Argentina, outside, for church, outside. Even inside China, North Korea, Japan, outside, the Philippines, Cambodia, outside. Good morning, Tona. Good morning, Tona. You know? We'll start with small brief history with the United States and the Chinese still. Then we're going to expand this more further. I will take me time for elaborating details there because I want to make clear you understand. Some of the things there, if not school, it will take a student 1 week for prepare for doing presentation. Some then 2 weeks or a month. Well, me not overnight study. Why don't study done overnight? In the morning, I give now. So I make you know how hard my brain can go. We determine. Somebody asked me this morning, Tasmo, you can sleep? Well, Tasmo not can sleep much, but I can get enough sleep. But Tasmo, they on the run. Not so on the temple run, but Tasmo, they on the run. Just like the same situation I explained to you now yesterday about a female in story. Since I know that, you know, my past or my history or my background has challenges them, Tasmo, they on the run for succeed. Now this one I make you understand. Anytime you see me in the media, they work hard, Tasmo, they on the run. Some people there, no, they do nothing for achieve anything, but Tasmo, they make in your name. Tasmo, they do something for make in your name. So are they on the run every day? You know, for make sure say I succeed and overcome all the tribulations them. Even the infidels or the enemies, the way they be me. So they're not able to catch me. You know, or get me who so they want me. You know? So understand that we always do on the run. We always do on the run. Not so temple run. inside 1888, around 1888, what they enforced, they put the status of the liberty in the United States, you know, that liberty status, 1888. Around that time, America put a policy for exclude or an exclusion of the Chinese. There was a time immigrants they go overseas for go work. They will already get the Africans in the United States. They may also get some, few Chinese or Asians them in the United States. But the Americans, they become so panicked when they notice or realize the population of the Chinese them, then cut them off totally and say they're not for come inside America for work. They're not for even go inside America for reside. So starting 1888, they create an exclusion, they create an exclusion act in the US, a Chinese exclusion act, not for allow them people there for even enter the United States or even for work there. For almost about 100 years, this policy will exist. So for about 100 years, Chinese man will be going inside America. All other races can be allowed to go inside the United States, except the Chinese them. For now understand how history, can reflect what can happen in the past, can start back in the future, or can ignite back in the future. Now, let me continue. So for about 100 years, the Chinese money, nobody allowed them to go work, to do anything within the United States. But I go show you now or tell you now, what's also America remove the money for even building 4 cities in the United States. What's America pull the money for even building 4 railways them inside the United States. I go make you understand. They always don't get problems them with the Chinese, United States. They get a racial stereotype against them people there. Just like what they can racially stereotype the blacks. Where for decades, years and years, they don't stereotype them Chinese people there. We now understand that. Call them the yellow pearl. Chinese them refer as the yellow pearl. Also, for let the American man find way for defame the Chinese man image. Then send our people them, we anxious, we determined, we focus for power. Then tendency. Then they create all kind of propaganda tool for disseminate the informations there. Whether not to print or press the newspaper or flyers them. But, details them, they go around for fool the world globally. That's them people there, the power anxious. You wonder why be power anxious? Not them be they go and explain to the world, say, the other people there, not the power anxious. I hope so now they understand this what itself. So the Chinese man, they no one they gets this intention for become power anxious. But now so the American man they define them since the 1888. Now let me continue. Around the 19th century, una no mind, I'll continue what I do so. I can tell una say education, now power. We get enemies then where they chase we. So for always they run. I know una be a typical terminal people there. Not all man civilized. But I will continue. Inside China, one thing will be major, opium. I know I see some of una they laugh. Inside Bombalia, not all man civilized. Especially the one that were not educated. So like why they patch you so. Not to say that people where they pass to go and make noise so. That they are lucky swagger one day, whether mama they not blessed or grandpa they not blessed, that they make the noise in this soup. But me now, I know they do and be in the face. What they talk, they all they hear me. I need they pretend. I real with me on. But my message no go well. Now let me continue. China then we get a major market where it can to opium. Opium now a drug around the 1800s. But in the 19th century, 2 people them or 2 countries them take advantage of this opium. for make money. The United States and England. We not forget say England be once colonized China. But during this colony, America also be the pimp China based on this opium. China now be a hub for drugs. All kind of drugs be the manufacturer inside China. They be get a high population. Money be there. So the American money, since they be already can exploit the Africans them, don't take all the gold them. They be need for store them gold today for build up their capital. Now they need capital now for also for building country. I hope so now they get to the point. Gold minerals them for add value to their currency. They need capital for building cities them, etc., etc. And that money there, it comes out from opium inside China. Now let me continue. We all know about the U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt. We all know this name here. If you don't know about the history itself, you know the name Franklin Roosevelt. Well, Franklin Roosevelt and grandpapa now be a drug dealer first way to the opium business. Inside China, they call him the king of the Chinese opium, and business. China and the United States, they call him the king of opium. Franklin Roosevelt will become a president inside the United States. And grandpapa now be a drug dealer will be the deal this drug ya opium. They export them, they remove them from China, fish and can inside the United States, can go inside Mexico, all the neighboring countries there, Canada, Australia, for make money. And indeed, the United States make money out of opium. Most of them don't know their histories there. Let me continue. So Franklin Roosevelt and grandpapa, a drug dealer, and papa, a drug dealer. Now listen, even in the Franklin Roosevelt, when they work their entire life, it just get local jobs there. But based on this drug money, they live a fancy life. Based on this drugs money, they be able to sponsor for become the president of the United States. Based on drug money. So for now, if they talk of currently, the one way they point finger at people the way they sell drugs, now then creates the young country with all evil means them. They like today, whatever country they don't develop, they still don't put a ban or a stop to them things there. But I'll continue, and I will get the picture clearer. So, from the grandpa to the papa to the Pekin, then the Pekin for lead the country. Opium will be a major product. But now remember that. All the American elites them, we go studying at all the best universities around the 19th century. Where they live all the most or the best fancy life inside the United States. All them people there, they enjoy what we call opium money. The China trade. And so some of them they call it even inside at the East Coast, the China trade. The China trade money. And the fiscal capitals there for people there for live life at the diaspora in the 19th century. That's also, now don't forget, I just explained this to you now. The Industrial Revolution was funded by the opium money. The Industrial Revolution, industries them inside the United States. Industries them all be funded by opium or opium money. Now let me continue. So after Franklin not inherit all them things there, as we don't state earlier, it don't become what you need for become. Again, the first city again inside the United States, as I explained earlier, now based on opium money. So the industrial city, industrial businesses, opium money. The industrial cities, them, opium money. The first 5 railways, them, wouldn't build also in the United States. Now, opium money. The China trade, opium money. So far, now this is my introduction. Now we can start. So far, now this is my introduction. Now my introduction, so I just give now. When I buckle up, belt up, We get small time for Sido. We get small time for Sido. Right now, currently, China gets them bad. China really gets them bad by the United States or from the United States. They don't surround China totally. The Americans, they don't surround China totally. If say China, the tower, so like Atasmo, the tower, not so for nothing. One person they behind you, you need for tower. One person fashion you, you need for tower. Example, I create a map. I want to show you, but I don't think so I'll be able to see this map here clearly. But you will get a pointer. You will get a quick pointer. You know, we'll get China now. When they see China, all the area that are countries them will surround China. All the one in our countries that will surround China. Where can Doya will get also Australia. You know? So China there, not the middle. South Korea, US based today. Japan, US based today. Burma, US based today. Thailand, based today. Cambodia, based today. Philippines, based today. Guam, based today. Singapore, based today. Indonesia, based today. Australia, based today. America get base all sides surround China. All the nuclear arsenals, their weapons, them points by China. All thing just points by China. If you're not China, you go be peaceful. You go sleep fine. You know? Now this make, we go for little, what's what they call the Marshall Islands. I go make you understand. And the Marshall Islands now inside the Pacific Ocean, the Asian Pacific Ocean. You know? We will discuss that. We will discuss that. But I want to train carefully for make sure so you understand. You know? I don't want to disseminate, you can confuse just now. Big up once more, I drink on a coffee. Yeah, the morning session, you know? So China gets them bad. China gets them bad. Gets them bad, though. Now, it don't become tiggy one or vivid one. China versus the United States. It don't become vivid clearly. The South China Sea. China they build what we call an island. That is South China Sea. And China they tell all man not to go close to what they construct. Now this sea. China they want all man not to go near what they do. Now the South China Sea. Don't even want the Americans them not for trespass. Because them back one creates a base now this area here, now this sea area here. For I believe say this base here what they want create now for counter the Americans them we don't already get a base now the Marshall Islands. I go make you understand. You know, so currently that's not a major issue so far in the media. If you're not possibly watch news. This town really don't give the American man a headache. Why make this man go create an island, you know, for create a military base? For what thing? Well, the Americans have to know why. You know, they don't know why. You know? And this island here don't create controversies them. They say that a secret island condemned by the International Tribunal. Condemned by the International Tribunal. I not truly believe that. It will be condemned by the American Tribunal or the European Tribunal, but I don't think saying that the entire International Tribunal. Because if they can't ask the Africans, they're not too concerned. You know? So the U.S. plan for send a destroyer very soon, or they're on it already, for send a destroyer for go facing, you know, the Chinese man, based on what's in the paper bill, you know, around the South China Sea. You know, what's in the American man say? They need for oversee the activities them. They need for contain China. That word the American man not even there either. They say they need for contain China. When they say contain, it's almost like control. How we want you, so I want you, I think they stay. You don't for go about any other way. You don't for even roam about. Before you roam about, you for ask for permission. If we not give you permission, not do it. containment. The Chinese man don't want that. But the American man forcefully want to contain them people there. Now we continue. And this don't become a big news. The USA now a threat what China they bring to them. Now a threat what China they bring to them, or now a threat what the US they can go to China. When I ask that question. And this year what they build so it in between the Philippines and China. This South China Sea, it in between the Philippines and China. Let's show you again the map. I want to make sure say you understand what they try for disseminate. You're not Philippines. You're not China. And not too far. Philippines and China. So in the middle, China they build this South, island, this South Sea Island. The China South Sea Island or whatsoever, For the in between or close to the Philippines. Now let we continue. And we believe saying for challenge the US and dominance now the Pacific Ocean or now the South China Sea area, for challenge the United States and dominance, then Tupac smack, the entire region there. And this don't be a flashpoint for war between China and the United States. Don't become a flashpoint for war. When they talk about Taiwan, well, that Taiwan issue arise too, but the war not started. Now China don't go start for creating an island, in between the Philippines and China. Well, tell us now this guy really can spark the war now. Now this really can spark the war. Now let we continue. But China not even listen to the Americans anymore. They still let us continue for bill. They let us make the island as we talk. They let us make the island. No, they continue. So if it's mapped inside China, you look towards the Pacific, you go see the only thing where you go see now Navy ships them. The American man and Navy ships them. It's mapped at China, you look at the Pacific, so Navy armor them, we're ready for counter China. Now remember that, now a constant threat to China. So many missiles that they point at China. South Korea, they up China. Well, if China look up to South Korea, missile back the points down. This is crazy. Even Japan, missile the points down. This is crazy, yo. So to me on personal views, China gets every right for worry. Gets every right for worry. Every right for worry, because to no one be contained or be surrounded by the United States. China so far now an independent country. Independent country. Gets no foreign bases them and in territory. Meaning military, personnel still from different countries them. Not gets that and a country. China so far they grow rapidly. Now the second leading world economy, not the world. The second leading world economy, not the world. The United States, now the fourth leading economy, not the world. Also the United States, now the largest military might, not the world. The largest military might, not the world. No country not there for contest to their weapons that would American man they make. Remember that. So, US, the adversarism, or the adversarism, not China. The competitors them, not China. For let you become assured now that's really now they happen. Not to a secret again, or so they talk out, they whisper, no. The Americans and the competitors them, not China. The Americans and the enemies them, not China. Nobody else will go past the Chinese them. They print that you eat now, yeah? They you understand that. And the rumors there with the American money, they make the Chinese and all let the rumors there about the Chinese, then they try for rule the world. The Chinese man not gets that intention there for rule the world. As then states up. They want to become powerful, but to not get any intention for rule the world, like the Americans do. The Chinese man say, the West, or the Americans and the Europeans, them, with their Christian roots, they don't go around the world for converts people them, and they don't really convert people them into Christianity, or into their belief, or into their system. If you sit down, you deny that this concept or this talk, so you lie by yourself, because you as an African, everything what you do right now, you believe, your way of dressing, the way of doing things, now based from the West. The West, we don't, change we own system. They don't convert with them. Now the right word I for use. The West, we don't convert with them. But they're able to convert China 30 days. They don't convert all parts of the world, but except China. The Chinese man not agree. I believe say why make the Chinese man not agree, then get a longer or a greater history than the Americans do. If me don't live in the world longer than you, I'm well expressed than you, then all of a sudden you can make a big pass me. Why make I go follow you? Why make I go follow you? If me know better than you, just because now you don't get money past me, why make I go follow you for big fool? Why make get more experience past you? So when they conflict this, and they try for contextualize things then, for let one understand. So the Chinese man say, the American man don't convert all man. But the Chinese man are not there about that for going to convert people them. They're not there about that. So then, now two different DNA them. The American man and DNA with the Chinese and DNA are two different DNA them. And then two different DNA they're always supposed to be different. No can force your own attributes there. So the Chinese man don't answer. Also, the Chinese man states that 2,000 years ago, the Chinese man built what's name called the Great Wall. They built the Great Wall, for keep the barbarians them away or out of China. All talk of barbarians, invaders them, the Americans them, the Europeans them, the barbarians them, So the Chinese man 2,000 years ago, they built this Great Wall, not to go fetch some people there, because they can able to come out and go invade them people there. But the Chinese man not get any intention for go invade them barbarians there. Instead, they build a Great Wall for just avoid problem. That this the Chinese man they try for tell people there now. They say it don't tell what we they try for avoid problem from them people there. But they always they find way for create problem. Just like what Charles Muslims puts in fence line compound for avoid problem with the neighbors there. But then still it creates problem. Just similarity. So that's the same thing what China they experienced. 2,000 years ago they put the Great Wall, but tell us the Great Wall not do anything. The Europeans they still go there and colonize them. Now how they continue. Now they continue. So currently, we know say the US they deploy their naval forces them to the Asia, Pacific. They deploy forces them. Beaucoup boats they deploy, the Navy ships them. Beaucoup they deploy for go facing China. Right now as we talk. Massive military build-up is this massive military build-up is known or they know inside Washington as the pivot to Asia. The pivot to Asia. The pivot to Asia. So this massive military build-up what they don't create so far, for go plant the Navy ships them, now the Asia and the Asia Pacific also, the American man and call them the pivot to Asia. The pivot to Asia. Now so they call them. Because they're one day in control of Asia. They're one day in control of the entire world. Land, sea, the air. The American man want control all. Now let me continue. So then target now China. And then great powers they are, the American money, then gets this belief that war now a continuous process. So then define it as a perpetual war. A perpetual war. War not forever stop. Where you make small peace, if already back for war. Where you start war, if already back for peace. You know, but it's a continuous process, a perpetual war. Wanna let me continue, you know? And countries in order so far right now for challenge the Americans when it comes to the arms industry. And the only country now where they try to challenge them, now China. When I know say Russia won't try, you know, Russia gets some nuclear arsenal stem, but if Russia try the American step, you know, then go succeed maybe by 1 or 2 states, but they go dismantle Russia totally. You know, and Russia know that they make Russia the tete small too. But another way they continue, you know, this now about China and the US. They'll put Russia first out of the way. You know? So this perpetual war they on. And all the weapons they are, it starts first so by the, you know, it starts with the movie there what people they can create. Then sci-fi movie them. You know, then regular action movie them. They will just create, you know, a weapon, a imaginary weapon. One man don't want to create it, but the movies there, you know, and once the movie don't sell, people don't watch the movie, people don't begin to admire, you know, the kind weapon. Guess what? The American man ain't go invest the money for create that same weapon there or something way massive past that. So now, so all the technologies here don't come into reality. First, it starts by play. You know, they begin to make first choice them, movies them, etc. People they admire the concept where they invest money for create the reality or the main product, you know, for conquer mankind. And that's what they only do. And that's what they do. And that's what they do. You know? So, now we continue. I want to make sure so we understand. Also, we useless black presidents who don't ever lead the America. You know, Obama, useless guy. Another useless guy, Obama. Obama useless, so useless. But now we continue. Obama don't win the Nobel Peace Prize with in useless self. Obama win the Nobel Peace Prize with in useless self. But anyway, Obama committed $2 trillion them for make sure say the Americans will continue for contain China. Obama na be bad fucker. Obama make sure say they deport Boku Africans them, and make sure say they deport Boku Mexicans them, and invest money for anything what the whites tell them for do, or what Congress be tell Obama for do, because Obama be the panic, not to be a true leader. You know? And the white same be the lead Obama. But una no go understand. If Obama be shake or a mistake shake, like Adam assassinates Kennedy, and so therefore we don't assassinate Obama. So Obama just be the buy time, you know, for survive. And for make history. For say black man don't lead the country. But not to really, you know, Obama lead the country. So again, $2 trillion $2 trillion Obama invested for contain China. When I know say Bin Laden, no Obama make them go kill him. Etc. inside Middle East. All things they make sure say they use the black man. You know, but if the world full, we're not go blame the black man. But if the world not full, we're not going to say they use that black man as a tool or a puppet. When the white man be there behind, you know? Now we continue now. So $2 trillion Obama invested for contain China. You know? That was bad. You know? So the wars and how they take place, I want to make you understand, see, this is the rise of human resistance. Globally, part of China now the rise of human resistance. If person don't take to overpower you, well, now the time this maybe you will rise against that person. You know? But take some how to go about how to rise. You know? But all the conflicts that are going around globally right now the rise of human resistance, you know, based on power and control. Now that's some of people in the fight for right now. Power and control. You know, power and control. Human resistance. Remember that. And all the human resistance they are again for control, what would they call? The land, the air, and the sea. Or any side who side man thinks they're able to control. Take up space. Take up space. You know? Well, now we continue. Now let we talk of the Marshall Island. Why make this Marshall Island very important? Since we don't give that introduction, we don't brief on a small of the upcoming wars the way they take place. And what's maybe going to lead to this war? The Marshall Island. Well, like you now for something, we're going to make una smile or some of una go vex. But women and they wear what we call bikini. You know, bikini. They're swimming suits, bikini then, for go swim, for going to the beach. Well, bikini don't turn to tongs then. Tong, you know? Tong, 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 tong. Anyway, this bikini, and not just come about so. All the talk of bikini, I be na an island. Around this Marshall Island. Bikini. Well, after the test of the nuclear weapons there, would the American man succeed? The American man do a major celebration inside the state. So one Frenchman will get money went into fashion business. Since the American man be promote the nuclear arsenal where they don't create, you know, they boast, you know, more morale to them. Well, this French man here, when a businessman went into fashion, you know, invest in money, create, you know, the bikini swimsuits. That's in the bikinis are not be there. You know? So now be the first time for bikinis and for come out. You know, they show woman and they wear this bikini. The woman and they sit down by this weapon here, this bomb here, we then create. We then on a test, like this island here. And for make you understand more, after the Hiroshima bomb, now they begin starts for test now this island. More weapons still. So bikini become affected. You know, the people in this island bikini become very affected. Boku die. Boku gets, you know, radiation still. Cancer, etc., etc. But the American man make money out of the name, bikini. Because the Marshall, bikini, other areas, and about 23 different islands, they all suffer. Most of them suffer. So, but the American man, any South people in the suffer, have money for them. So bikini, then turn into bikini suit or swimming suit. You know, the Frenchman make money out of this. The American man promote them. Another propaganda tool. You know, in those days, if you no want to see woman blank wear drawers, because in those days, all man conservative. All man they wear long clothes. For let's see self woman in nakedness, it not be easy. So when you begin to see woman with, you know, just bikini them. Believe me, you say you smart back, you open, you must say, wow, the world leap advance. You know, you the bet. Because you know antecedent things then they. Now they try for talk, you know. The terrible transformations then they take place, you know. Bikini come out. But the name that be an island where they don't evaporate. Where they don't use as experimental place, you know, based on the creation system. When I we continue that, make sure say una gets the message. You know? So around this island, 23 islands in this Marshall Island, you know, Bikini na one. And around this area, a very silence, very peaceful, currently, a very silence, a very peaceful, but a very menace. Currently, all the talk of menace, not anything with bad, anything with dangerous, anything with hazardous, you know? Anything with hazardous, you know? Well, you might go there and you will catch something. Still menace. The area is peaceful, a silence, but menace right now. And they get, you know, a big hole around, you know, the ocean. They get a big hole close to the land itself, close to the islands there, you know, in the ocean area or the sea area. Outside the bombs, they be drop. And I go show now how they do and test them. I will explain all that. I just want to make sure someone understand. Like what's in science, they talk of the black hole, you know, where they go create some kind of a black hole at this Marshall Island. After all them bombs there for so many years, they wouldn't only test them. This area they create what we call a depth. Something similar to a black hole. A depth, you know? So, when we continue. You know, then they use what we call hydrogen bomb stem. Hydrogen bomb stem. You know? Them bombs, they are what now be experimental bomb stem, you know? They call them the Bravos. Hydrogen bomb stem. Vaporize the entire island. You know? Also, it creates poison. Let me say, every living creature, now the water safe, not survive. fish they know they. Nothing on the island. In those days, coconuts, the fruits, then the all thing they. All thing be there. They get massive all thing. The people are not need for go far for catch, oysters, them, crabs, them. Everything be just in a low tide area. Low tide, not so high tide, outside, the high currents of water. Low tide. All them things there be come out from the middle of the ocean. They can't close to them people there. Big crabs, them, big fish, them, big all thing. Abundant food be there. But once the American man capture this island, then people at the island become hell. Then paradise turn to hell. How come they capture this island? Well, after the World War II with Japan, after the World War II with Japan, now the Americans, they go capture this island. After World War II with Japan, they take this island from the Japanese there actually. They take this island from the Japanese them. And that be a strategic point for the American system. Since they want to control the world, land, sea, and air, that be a strategic point for the American system. But also gets the naval ships them around this area here, this sea area here. Very strategic. Now let me continue. So people in this island, again, that be skilled navigators them. Let me get them the regular life, then basic life, then paradise life. Now be paradise to them. We don't become hell. We don't become hell. So in 1946, all things change. Would the United States take control of this island inside 1946? But the American man be promising people there something. Now be a trust territory. The people and they accept the American money. Well, if we now can govern we not make sure say no more, we not care for we. We not make sure say we not care for we well-being still. Now be an agreement. An obligation for protecting people there. With good health, well-being of the people. Good health and a better, lifestyle, a well-being for the people there. The American man they accept and say yes. We go provide all sorts of want. We will give you schools, hospitals, all thing. We go make na yourself folk now. And here na be paradise, we go turn you to heaven. American man is a bit like you. Here na be paradise, we go turn you to heaven. And all the experiments we want to do, this area that the first place where they can do. So now we get for benefit self from the entire world, but what they can start at this island. Now they can't lie with and give the people them. Not to just talk at the talk, that the truth that they tell us so, now history that they tell us so. Not about who talk at the power. So now we continue. So the nightmare begin. The island then turn into a laboratory place, this island here. A laboratory for test nuclear weapons system. A laboratory for turning people into guinea pigs step. Well, if they ever hear the word guinea pig now, thing will not get any worth. Just like maybe where they can slaughter them cow, they will not get any worth for them to eat. When I saw they be used for slaughter or treat mortarman in this island. They use them mortarman as guinea pigs them. They conduct tests on them people there. I go make sure say you understand. Propaganda films then begin go around for deceive the world, say, then get good initiative for them people there on this island. Propaganda films them, pictures them. So if you there far, you watch them pictures there, all the Americans and then at Marshall Island, they create something nice for them people there. Wow, I wish I did it. Now be a propaganda tool, not to be the truth, and not be real. No, we continue. But the American man be plan, but make sure so they destroy them people there in paradise. The people they say, well, we left all things in God in hand. Now in the American man they say, well, anything we left in God in hand, it must be good. Anything we left in God in hand, it must be good. Now we continue. So I didn't take destroy this island. Then place about 87 ships them, different warships them, old ships them we not really need, for do a test. Then plants different ships them, in different areas them around this island. What then done? And then launch all the arsenals them from the United States for go attack this island. Then people there not be know. Then people there be there inside they sleep. They not be know say nuclear weapons and they per arrival on the island. They not be know. Pass through there no more now. Boom! Now some them begin grab. They're scared. And don't forget say World War II just be the done. And then people there now Japan be govern them. And the Americans will also be the first Japan. So then just come out of war, what the American man can contain them, and then what are they going to use? All of a sudden now they begin to do nuclear test. So then people then be believe so things say the world self they can do. The world they can do. You know. So when they come out, they begin to see, you know, ash then they come out from the air because the bomb in land of the water for destroy their ships there. And their ships there, what's the American man do? It's just like when they say Allah or God be tell Noah for put every creature appear inside a boat, you know, for the sustenance of mankind. And the same thing the American man do. Then take goats, arata them, all kind of animals, and then put in their ships there before they destroy you. Because they be want to see the after effect, how the animals they are die. How the arata they are die. You know? How the radiation affects them. So now be a test case for the Americans them na this island. Also the people that will be there now be a test case on them also. But the people that not be know. You know, so then plant them boats there, then release the weapon there, then bombard them boats there, and then succeed for destroy all the boats that they put around. You know, and every day or so they be the bombard. Every day or so they be the bombard. The test continue for a while, though. The test continue for a while. But let me make sure say I give you all the information necessary. You know? So arata them, goats them, sheep them, all type of animals, and then place and then boats there for this experiment. You know, including humans them. We'll be there at the Marshall Island. You know? How they die, how they burn, they won't understand. You know? And then they conduct the blast. They explain that, you know. What the people then come out? Then say, after the blast, what's in the sky? Now like rainbows them. So, you know, maybe now a warning back for you. Anytime you see rainbow, maybe not so allowed. Not so allowed in make it know. Then see rainbows them. Then see blue, red, green, yellow. Now the sky a rainbow. A rainbow created by the nuclear arsenals there, or the nuclear weapons there would make money be the test. They also ash them they fall down from the sky. So one person illiterate or person not get sense, then ash there, what's the people they begin do? They begin to gather, then ash there. They gather, and they be things in a soap, they turn into soap. They begin to rub and they hear them. Then hear them begin to roots come out. You know, their skins then begin to peel off. You know, then toenail them begin to turn white. Some them begin to die, the infection is massive. I get some pictorial evidence them after this episode. I go, you know, create, you know, screenshot some of it and share them with Una. Let Una see some facts them, you know, some pictorial evidence them. What's really happening at this Marshall Island, you know? Some pictorial evidence them. So you will start to understand the truth about the Americans there. You know? May you understand the truth. So when you don't know anything, something they fall down from the sky, people then gather and they things in a soup. On a manna from heaven, you know, manna from the gods them, but now something we can for kill them. What's in the American man they don't create, you know, what they don't even know of or understand. Now, let me continue. You know, people then say they be scream, they be hide, some they be terrified, etc., etc. Today, if you go inside bikini, it's very disturbing. If you go inside bikini, it's very disturbing. You go around the Marshalls, it's very disturbing. You know, and these swimsuits here, they make around 1946. You know, 1946, this swimsuits here. You know, and they be make them. 1946. And when I don't forget, I be given a year also previously. 1946. Also now when, you know, then take over the territory. 1946, now when they take over the Marshall territory, you know, from Korea. 1946, 90s swimsuits also come out based on the experimentals there. You know? Let me continue. People that suffer from the radiation still. You know? Creates, what we call cancer. Different forms of cancer. Different kinds of cancer. Different infections still, Let me continue. And people that beneath for abandon this island. So while the infections are beginning to take place, people are beginning to die. They're beginning to beg the Americans here. They say, one come out away from this island. When I move, we go other side. We know one day again. When I say when I wear help you, I be careful for help we. Well now, we don't experience so and so. Well, we know one day, when I move, we go some side. So the American man be agree for moving and go some side. Because the water it be done poison. Fresh water no be there for drink, food no be there for eat, nuts no be there again at this island. This paradise for them people there be get, don't turn to hell. What's in the American man do? Don't turn to hell. For 12 years straight, they do testing at this island. So not just conduct a test 1946. From 1946 to maybe 56, 10 years straight, then people there they conduct tests at this island. Every day, every week, they be the bomb then at this island. Every day, every week, every month, they be the bomb then at this island. So if the American man don't sure about the nuclear arsenal system right now, then sure that the weapons that will get a guarantee. Who's will send another day to go? Now because they be the test their weapons there at the Marshall Islands. After World War II. And then people that they use as scapegoats them. Now let me continue. And this them bombs there, they say equivalent of 1 Hiroshima bomb. 1 Hiroshima. So if they send about 5 different bombs at this island, well, Japan better. They only get 1 green bomb or 2 bombs them. We're going to knock the Hiroshima city. Well, then people there then get past what's in them called the Hiroshima. Not so 1 or 2 enter at this Marshall Island. We say for 10 years straight, they bombard this place here. 10 years straight. Around 1968, the president of the United States again, President Johnson, came back, make a commitment to them people there. He begged them people there, say, well, we don't clear all the radiations in this island or the islands there. It's safe for them to return back to this island. President Johnson lied back to them people there. He said, well, we now return back. We say we don't come place now. We not go able for continue na here. We need for go back now on the island. We say we be useful for it. We not go back now on the paradise. We can't go back. I don't lie again. Because they want continue for the test them people there. They want continue for the test them people there. So 1968, they moved back them people there on this island for continue the experiment. For they know say the white man, they're really wicked. Before I continue for talk, I want to make you know how much man is wicked. Them people they're really wicked. When I not say wickedness, well, we can talk of how the black people don't suffer. But rest and in this world, we don't suffer past with the black money. They really don't suffer past with the black money. Rest and they. What do we experience now? Slavery no more and dominance. For dominatory. But rest and they we don't suffer past with the black stuff. Now remember that. Now what's in the people they say? What's in people in states? Some of the people that would interview, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s before they die. Some they begin testimony before they die. They say what's in the American man they do not to be an accident. This now woman and now will be giving their own testimony. They say then come now here for destroy with land intentionally. Then become now we learn for test the effect of the nuclear bombs there on we. Then the people that will be dead. And what's not the woman they talk to? Let's start some back again. So what's in the American man and do? Not to any accident or not to mistake. So then come for destroy the land. You know, they do them test there for understanding the effects of the nuclear weapons there on them people there. Not to be an accident. You know, not to be an accident. Not to be an accident. So, the American man, they do all things for create a cover-up also. All things. While they start them test there from the 1946 to the 1968, for about 10 years or so, they do all things for create a cover-up. And all them cover up, then now we can talk of a propaganda tool. Anything when I lie, for full mankind, for persuade you, for believe. You know, a propaganda tool. So anybody where they use any propaganda tool, freedom, that bad person. Now let me continue. You know, and then nuclear bombs there, again, and call on the Bravo test. The Bravo test. You know, with them deceptions, there with a bunch of lies them. When lie for people them. You know, we can't help them people there. Now lie you. The American man not do anything, you know, for stop this harm whatever they cause. You know, for take a conservative step and say no, what should they do so? He evil, he haram. Let me backtrack with step. They not do harm. They continue for do what thing they try for do. Because they want to achieve their greater goal. And their own greater goal for creating nuclear weapons there. So they're not stop. They're not stop. We will continue. You know, so as time progresses, they evacuate people again from this island. You know, but the project, for now I know say, this test here, it be real and they be planned. Now be a biomedical project. The project entitled be a project entitled 4.1. Project 4.1 will be the title Landy for the American money. You know, Project 4.1. This project here it starts first for the study what we call mice them, them. Then they transfer to human experimental them. You know, so Project 4.1 they extend and go inside the Marshall Islands. Project 4.1. You know, it be totally planned. Now we continue. So while they don't move them people there, they don't get more radiations them. They need for remove them back again. Well, they begin a big, but not to the American man, they go there for go rescue them. But we'll get to that. One thing the American man they get inside the United States, and also what's in them build inside this Marshall Island. Then get what's in called the Iron Room. The Iron Room. This Iron Room, now for test, you know, the radiations the way they inside mortal man. So what's in the American man they be used for do? They take people them from their islands there, around this Marshall Island, they fly them kind of the United States. They kind of go to this Iron Room for conduct again another test for see how much radiation be there inside the system. You know? Even one of the guy wanna be a mayor around this Marshall Island before the American money be go there, him back become affected. They fly in Kaiser, America, they do a test on her, 7 of them. The guy return in country, well they not to say, in West in Peking, they all die. All die. You know? Now let me continue. So they do test for just get, you know, confirmation of, you know, the nuclear effects there. Fly people there from Marshall to the United States. Sometimes they fly them go to New York, you know, give us, you know, service them, make them enjoy life. They don't go destroy them. They go face them come, make them enjoy life inside the United States, you know, give them, you know, fruits them, things they want to not get and then places them, when they're ready for go, then give them, you know, few money, few clothes them, the basic, and ship them back to their country. What's in the American man don't they do? You know? So they can go first go expose you, for they go enjoy or go collect, but they don't kill you down. They don't kill you down. You know, they only invite you for go test you based on what they don't cause in your area. You know? And that's where they take place. So now we continue. And the food them, also them people they eat, they be laced with radiation. Listen to this. The food be laced with radiation. the premature resettlement of them people there. All like creating disasters there. The island be contaminated by weapons of mass destruction. But the American man not stop. So study how humans absorb food, etc., etc., from their radiations there. All this will be a test case. Project 4.1. Using people them as guinea pigs them. Project 4.1. By the United States. Project 4.1. You know? So, moving them people there back and forth not really creates any difference. You know, because the place be contaminated. And so far they're saying that the worst place at the entire earth. At the worst place at the entire earth because it contaminated totally. You know? Let me continue. Now let me continue. We'll go down very soon. We'll almost get there. We'll get there. What's in the American money also states. For they know say it be intentional. Then say it will be interesting to get a measure of human uptake when people live in a contaminated environment. I'll repeat that once more. It will be interesting to get a measure of humans' uptake when people live in a contaminated environment. Anytime when they talk of measurement, like a calculation. Anytime they talk of measurements, just think of a calculation. Now a measurement, what do they do? You know, an uptake for see how them people there they live with their contaminations there, then radiations there, and experiment. So they may really know what's in them they do. They really know what's in them they do. The people that remain around this island for about 28 years, they suffer. You know, them people there for about 28 years, then they around the islands they are. You know, the white one they use them as guinea pigs them. You know? And some of the woman they got what's name called thyroid cancer. Thyroid with a THYROID, thyroid cancer. It affects most of the women there. Most of the people actually. You know? And different forms of cancer. Well, that jump quick, that beat's going quick. And the most thing back we're so sad. What a woman there can get pregnant. Where they can go for go born them picking. The picking they know they come out like more tamanengu. The picking they look like jellyfish. They know they look like more tamane. What they born them picking there, the thing look like a different creature. More taman they born a different creature where they breed but not look like more taman. Based on what's in the American man do inside the Marshall Islands there. I want to make you understand this. You know? So, a very dishumane. When they talk of the most atrocities in the world, and the white man don't commit, sir. You know? Then they can worry about religious aspects, and they can preach to now about God, or Christianity, or the Bible, but the evil pass you. But you're a big fool, and I can follow the leadership still. You know? Well, when you understand history, you go take time with them people there. And this can make I can vex. What we African presidents say, they don't understand history. And if you don't understand history, how you going to be able to lead Africa? I mean, biggest concern is, there's no way you can be able to lead Africa if you don't understand history. Now let me continue. So for 28 years, and people that they suffer around the islands there, based on scientific evaluations there, you know, affected by thyroid cancer, you know, what American man they don't contaminate some people there, the lives in the islands, etc., etc. You know, people are also beginning also then still a plea for come on at this island. So that there was a movement, you know, a ship named the Green Face. The Green Face, a ship from a different country, not from the Americans. The Green Face came for rescue them people there, you know. So the Green Face, this boat a load them people there, and they call this movement the Operation Exodus. The Bible gets, you know, Exodus, the movements of Jah people, you know. That's what Bobby say, movements of Jah people, you know. Exodus from the Bible. Well, this is another Exodus. And people there, they don't contaminate them so much that they don't say what they bake, they don't say what they bake. So different people from different parts of the world come for rescue them from this contamination here. Then load them by the boats them, you know, and move them can go other side. And so back they go and sing the Gladdy. You know? Go and sing the Gladdy. Operation Exodus for save lives. Because now the people are now they born picking themselves, then picking they look like jellyfish them. They born picking the picking they come out normal. You know? So if now they see them American picking they can come out abnormal, you see, you know, beaucoup mentally ill picking in America. And we get beaucoup mentally ill picking in America. Beaucoup mentally ill people in America. You never believe this so. You know, now we can come on in Africa here, now we can go care for them. Now people can go care for them. Because the American man, when he born in Pekin mentally ill, and they throw him, and not care for him Pekin. He rather go left in Pekin, now hospital, or let other person go care for him Pekin. I make you believe what they tell you so. I don't work in a mental home. With me where they see so, you know? I don't work in a mental home. People in there where they birth them Pekin, they will not really care for them Pekin as long as they come with defect. So I mean, now the swear with them people that get to. Now, no one they born Miss America, but the swear they rank is so much that them Pekin all get affects them, birth affects them, mental affects them. But who they create in America? And no one they drop bomb they must not see them people that they swear not to for nothing. Well, now we continue. So the green face come and rescue them people there, you know, rescue them people there, kind of go different side for the survival. You know, and some of them people are currently now they live in an area called Monjoro Island. You know, but way far apart from, you know, this Marshall Island which are not contaminated. You know, Monjoro, but then still a suffer better water no day, electricity no day. You know, it's tough. Another testimony, a Comragian testimony. This woman back don't die. A witness, the way the American man be they treat in Pekin like, you know, guinea pig. They watch the experiment, till then kill in Pekin. What in this woman states, now they can't tell una so. You know, a mother in testimony about his son. They said they use in Pekin as if in Pekin be animal. They said they continuously they puncture in Pekin in body. Puncture, maybe they cut or choke all side by Pekin. Chuk you all side. For let you bleed no more, they chuk you all side, they puncture your body. You know? So they continuously they puncture me Pekin body in a way that you go think in a way that's like how they cut chicken. That's why they puncture in Pekin in body. What this woman again testimony. Like how they cut up chicken, that's why they watch when they cut in boy Pekin. And say in boy Pekin it bleed. They say it bleed from outside. It bled from the they say it bleed from the things that were stuck inside also. I guess they get things that were they put inside this boboya. You know, while they boss all for this bobo, then they put some things back inside. You know? And this woman they give testimony saying Pekin bleed from them things there. You know? They say this thing are like a laboratory, they say the place are like a laboratory for animals too. The way how they do the experiments there on them mortal man there, you know, now be a laboratory for animals them. But now the mortal man and they use as the animals them. Now so they be treating Pekin. This woman says, see this with in your eye. They say now something with toy heart. You know? A toy heart. They say it watch them when they be treat in Pekin like guinea pig. Woman ain't talking so. And this always then in mind. They say they then destroy me boy Pekin. They say they use her like a worthless animal. They say this now one thing I no will ever forgive. Say that's all. At the end of this woman's testimony. They treat him Pekin like a worthless animal, like a guinea pig. And this now one thing I no will ever forgive. The woman don't die, Pekin don't die, but cool people don't die based on their causes there. You know? And now inside the Marshall Island, they also get, you know, the machine they now for conduct the test. Before they be used for fly people in the United States, for go conduct a test, how much, you know, radiation there inside your system, you know, from this iron machine. Now that they don't place an iron machine also inside the Marshall Island, you know, for the conduct test, you know, which people away still live around the islands there. You know, even on the Marshall Island, it totally, spoiled, poisoned, etc., etc. But people then still live, not forgetting about 23 different islands in there around this Marshall Island. About 23. Now, let me continue. And the radiation or the pollution, it pass smack. I mean, the plutonium stem, based on the radiations there, it be pass smack. It be pass smack. So far, people that only plead to the world. People that don't tire for keep their silence. You know? And make sure say the world become aware of what's they going on at this island here. The American money talk say they will give about $150 million compensation for all the atrocities that don't take place at this island up till now. No do nothing for them people here. Up till now, no do nothing for them people here. You know, in 1983, 9 people here beginning to start for break their silence. Around 1983, they begin to talk, and tire for keep quiet. You know. So far, now the island there, the American man gets now a base there, what they call the Ronald Reagan Missile Test Site. The Ronald Reagan Missile Test Site. You know, I don't tell you saying that be a strategic place for war, for control the land, the air, and the sea. Anybody who able to control and three there, you don't control the world. That be a strategic point for the American step. Well, now, then get what we call the Ronald Reagan Missile Test Site. You know, they don't drive them people here from the islands. Now, most of them, they live nearby Monjoro. Una lobby continue. You know, so this Ronald Reagan Missile Test Site, now, anybody will test the American stem or even China, at this area, they would need a launch weapons there for go attack China. So when I see why I make now China also they try for build their own island, that is South China Sea. Because the American money don't get a base, that is Marshall Island, you know, where they can release any nuclear weapon for attack any country in the world. Now, love will they continue. You know, now love will they continue. The people that also don't move go to another area, another island we then call Ebi Island. Ebi Island, they consider this the slums of the Pacific. Ebi Island, they consider them the slums of the Pacific. Well, about 12,000 people they reside in this Ebi Island. You know, same people then go. About 23 islands in this area here. They don't contaminate all the areas there. Now then people that they live now Monjoro and Ebi. But the one day within Ebi, that then can come for work. Now the area then outside the American money base. You know, so what the American money don't contaminate, they will go clear some area them, make them conducive for them for go reside. Remember that, and that's American money do. So then get certain island them, outside the American money also they reside. They don't go camp there. They live there. They don't drive them people there. They don't go build their own heaven there now. Then they live there. And the Marshall Islands still contaminated. Then people are not able to move back, go to the Marshall. But all the other islands them, you know, the American money they make sure say it's conducive for them to live. So people then they come out from Ebi for go walk outside the American man in there by boat. The American man can pick them, can then go walk. Now the military base system. We don't walk down for water flyers and now because the military base get all thing. The base where the American man don't go plant inside this island. All thing the hospital ladies, schools and they medical, you know, I mean swimming pool, everything we can think of, way upscale. You know? But not so for them people there. And for the American money. So if them people there are sick safe, now this Ebi community or Monjoro, the American money they treat them. The only thing they go do, take blood sample for understand the cause, we go for killing people there. You know? But every day, they go pick them people there for go walk at the base. Every time they can go back where they belong. Don't know some people are not clean. You know? The world is still corrupt. The world is still corrupt. Then they can talk of democracy. And they use people up to now. And they use people up to now. We talk of democracy. So then people there, we say them so bad, no not get hospitals and themselves, no not get nothing. Now the slums, them poor. So they wanna come, wanna promise we heaven. When I say wanna go turn we paradise to heaven. Now we paradise on turn hell. Now we not even live safe, now we land where we did. We not even live now we place where we born. Pass away and catch now other islands them. And that's the American money calls to them people there. You know? That's the American money calls. The island will be used to be tropical. Now no vegetables so they grow there. No fruit, no fish, no nothing. The American man don't put it all. Don't go take control of this island based on their interest because of war. For control the globe or the world. You know? And the only food we can go in that area there are them processing food there. Oh, they talk of, processing food or food we process, food where they say canned them. You know? And then canned food there that they can cause what we call diabetes. So then people there, they die quick out of diabetes. Because they know they eat natural again. You know, away fresh. Also that they eat, what's in the American man don't process, go get them. Which they cause diabetic or diabetes. And it killing people there. You know, it killing people there quickly. You know? And they said, well, all around the world, it gets the highest, you know, diabetic rate or diabetes rate. You know, when it affects or it kill them. All around the globe. All around the globe. All around the globe. And their weapons there, last but not least, for long I don't say the American man is wicked. Each missile, what did they test? It cost $100 million. So each missile, what they made to away at this Martian island, it cost $100 million. But people in the suffer till today. The American man government give $100 million for eradicate poverty. But the government spend for make missiles them. You know, the government spend. You know. So when I remember that, the world is fearful. World is fearful. The most fearful individuals there, what thinks they then come for educate we, but then they make sure say then demote we. Now the Americans do. Africa, we need for wise up. The world at large need for wise up. If we not wise up and unite and try for pick sins against the white people there, let me just say the 10 now they wise up and one counter one fight against them at the end of the world. At the end of the world, I'm a Gideon. I make a start on so earlier. You know? Because they already get all nuclear weapons them. If they don't say they can fall, if the American man don't say that really they can fall, they will make sure say the world fall. So I make a state earlier or start earlier say, we not start for pray or start for believe in Allah. Start for believe in Allah. Because the day 1, 2, 3 country, the kind of they do right now, BRICS, you know, Brazil, China, Russia, you know, etc., South Africa. If more countries they add up for build up BRICS and they become powerful, they're ready for challenge NATO. Well, I'm gonna Gideon not really start. Or I'm gonna get it on the start. You know, the end of the world soon to come. So if you think say people not be ever vanish, I think say it happened before. We're so corrupt that we don't destroy humanity before. I don't know how we start about again. Well, we're going to destroy humanity again. And life going to start back all over. You know? Because of them people they had in greed. Because of them people they had a selfish greed. But then go there in denial. Always the first people that we want to counter them. You know? They're always there in denial. So we don't tire with propaganda, you know, pictures them, video them, clips them, audios them, anything way propaganda. you know, by the American step, we need to abstain or avoid. We not for even tolerate or encourage. Same need for calm. We need for even stop for listening to CNN, BBC, all those stupid European Western, you know, channels there where they transmit information. Because now they use for full we. And they use for full we. We need to avoid all the media landscapes there were created by the Westerners them and foster or create we own. You know, what we say now going to inspire the Americans them. Not them going to inspire we, but we going to inspire them. Now remember that. Now, boy again, Charles Muslims, the servants, aka Gbepeko. I know this is a long episode, you know. For the one in water, well, I know it's not abuse, and I abuse you. That's you learn something, you learn something. A what for learn something, no vex. You know, Charles will not get up, but I don't mind for sacrifice them, you know. Now people they bless me for that blessing us soon. So now the blessing then they go around, you know. Now the blessing. We now stay blessed once more. Now the face of Salome, the face of the green, white, and blue, the face of the people there, aka Gbepeko. We don't go tire, we don't go blow, we will continue for run because we need for succeed. We now stay blessed.